New York session starts in a few minutes and I will show you how to trade the market for today. By the end of this video, you must know the major zones and how to trade it and when to trade it. Now, let's see what we did in the past few days. I'm gonna go to the chart on my hourly time frame. In the past few days, what we had was in the hourly time frame on the New York session. As you can see, we got this bearish leg all the way from the top here to the down here. You can see, you can check the July 6th market update, and then from here on July 7th we actually got the entire bullish leg. From here, the yesterday's video, if you remember, we got the entire bullish leg, and from now on, from here on, we want to see what's gonna be the market for today. So let's dig in and see how market looks like. I'm gonna go to the daily time frame for now to see how we're looking on the major time frame and what is our bias. So as you can see on the daily time frame, we already had a bearish momentum, and this bearish momentum from up here to here, and in this area we did not make any major moves except just some consolidations. But how does it look right now? On top of here at 65,300, here we have a huge order block. Here we have a huge block that it can actually give us some nice bearish. As you can see, we already have a lot of shadows. So you can see this shadow here, this shadow. We have, once the price reached here, it went from 63K all the way down to the 57K. So this is a huge zone, and it's not even filled yet. That's the major points that you have to understand. This zone is not even filled, just a shadow has been entered here and nothing more. So I'm going to delete all of this so you have a better understanding. You see this candle here, from here that my mouse cursor is. From here, it went all the way down to here. So the price couldn't, on this candle, it couldn't go higher. Let me go back here. Here we also have a major FVG here. We have a fair value gap that it's still not been filled with a full body candle. Yes, we have a shadow here, but it's not filled with a full body candle. So my expectations, even if we want to go high, even if we want to go on to the higher levels, we still need some bounce back. There is also another FVG that we're going to talk about it, which is very important. But for now, let's go to the 4-hour time frame. So we know that we have to be careful. So we know that we have to be careful today because the market is very, very close to a very important. So we know that we have to be careful today because the market is close to a very major block that can make a huge bearish momentum for us. But still, it's not there. So in lower time frame, we can still see some bullish momentums. So how does it look like on the 4-hour time frame? On the 4-hour time frame, if you remember from the yesterday's video, we talked about this huge liquidity here. This huge liquidity, we still haven't touched it. There is still no, if I expand this box, you can see that there is still not even a shadow inside it. So even if we have a shadow, it would have pushed the price way higher than this, but there's not even a shadow. So this is a huge order block that we're still looking at it, but the price hasn't moved up. This blue line that I drew here, if the price doesn't go above this with a full-bodied candle, then the bearish momentum still exists. And to be honest, we will see that in the lower time frame how the market looks like and why we're and what we're targeting for. This is just so you understand the bias and how it works. I'm going to go down to the 1 hour, to the hourly time frame, because we're looking to trade for today on the futures. So I want to see how it looks like. Again, from yesterday, if you remember, we talked about this block here. This was exactly what we talked about, and these were all the positions that we have taken. So this is what we talked about to get the positions, and we had a nice 3 to 4% pump, and this was a huge win for us, the same as the day before that. So what we're looking at is we have a lot of blocks like this one in the 4-hour. If you remember, on the 4-hour side, we still haven't filled any of them. So there is a huge liquidity sitting there, which means that the price is willing to go back to those liquidity to have more pump so that it can go higher. Let me see how it looks like right now. So on this liquidity side, the blue line that I drew here, we still haven't broken it. And the fact is that from here that we created a huge liquidity block. Here we created another accumulation zone, And then from here, the tops, the highs are getting smaller and smaller. If you see, we have a lot of shadows on the candles that they are making the entire bullish momentum as weak as possible, which means that the bullish momentum, at least for today, might be over. Or even if we want to go higher, we may just go one leg up and that would be it. And then we're going to go lower from here. I'm going to go to the 15 minutes. On the 15 minutes chart, it looks much easier to understand because again, as I'm saying, we're working on the future for today. It's not going to be, I'm not talking for long term. This is for our market overview of how it looks like today. So as you can see from here, we started this accumulation zone. We had some nice, very long candles. The green candles, the legs coming up all the way here. And then we had our pullbacks. The pullbacks was inside this major zone. And then we had all this green candles. You see this big bodied candles that we had here. But from here, the accumulations got weaker and weaker. So we made more wicks on top, more shadows on top. And then once we hit the order blocks, as you can see the lines here, then we couldn't move higher. So for example, this was another high that we made. Let me mark this here. From this high, this blue line that I drew here, we couldn't go higher. That's also another problem. As you can see, even now price is moving down. So when should I make them? Because by the time you're getting this video, we may have some more red candles. So when should you trade? Don't worry, this is still too soon. We're not gonna trade it until the New York time, and also it must go below this line. So mark this on your chart. This is very important. Once we're below 63,852, we have to see the same pattern that we talked about before. So we're gonna see it something like this. And then on this pullback, once we saw a full-bodied candle, on this pullback, we're gonna get it. So let me also turn on my order blocks so you have a better understanding on what is going to be our next target. So, well, first of all, we may definitely have some, if you're trading on Strategy Trader, you should definitely know that this is a huge zone. Let me remove mine. This is the generated by Strategy Trader. So this is a huge order block. We may have some reactions to this zone, but it shouldn't be much because as you can see, this consolidation, this has a lot of liquidity. And even if we touch here, this might be something very small. It can be something like this. It can be very small and then moving all the way down. So make your play. It's going to be either this or the one that I drew before. Make sure that it can't go below this. Okay, remember, when we're going up like a spike, also from here all the way to here, it's going to be the same spike all the way down, okay? So the same up, the same down. So what we see here is that if we close below this order block zone, below this green zone, then we are all ready to find in the lower time frames, for example, 5 minute or 1 minute, you can find very nice moves from here. So you can open your shorts from at about here and all the way down to the next order block, which as you can see in the on my Strategy Trader chart, you can get it up until here. This can be a nice zone. I'm going to put a price tag here on 63,100. And also the next one's gonna be 62,500. So these are the major zones that we're gonna see for the next one. And the most that we could go higher, as you have seen before, it's the another leg up to the 64,700 or 65,360. So our bullish scenario is going to be something like this. If we wanna go up, which is, as I said, it's a very, it's not really probable, and we've already talked about it even in previous sessions, in the previous videos. What we talked about is that these are the two scenarios, but this is more probable. So we should have our eyes on both of them, but we have to trade the ones that is more probable. So if we want to go with the higher time frame, on the long term, the long position is going to be like this. It's going to look like this. If we break above 64,700, then there is a good chance that we can trade on the lower time frame, like 5 minutes, all the way up to the 65,300. So let's see how the dominance of Tether looks like, the USDTD. USDTD works, it was exactly the same as what we had before. So we talked about it. It started very nice bearish momentum from up here. So let me tell you how this bearish momentum ended at the top here, because right now it looks like the same as what we have in the BTC. Bitcoin has the same, it's not the same, but it's a similar momentum all the way up here. So we might be on the BTC, on the Bitcoin, we might be at about here, this consolidations, or even we can be here. So these are the last final legs that we can see as the bullish momentum of the Bitcoin. So these are the last levels. We are going to go down from anywhere around here up to 65. So just make your play. I don't know if you're doing it in 5 minutes, 15 minutes, or hourly. So these are different. I'm just telling you how the market's gonna look like after this leg. We saw a few bearish momentum here, and from this bearish momentum, it started when we had the lower high. So here we had one higher high. This higher high was based on this high here. And then after that, we had a lower high. So this high was lower than this, which means that the momentum is going to be like this. Let me draw it with this one, it's better. Okay. So it showed that it's going to be something like this. This is what we're targeting at. Let me put it like this. But when does it end? It's going to end somewhere, right? We have already had a lot of bullish momentum on this green box. As you see, once we hit this green box, we went all the way up to here. Right now we're at the same box, but is it confirmed yet or not? That's where we have to wait and see if the price goes above. So right now for today, to be honest, I'm targeting for this one, for this box here. It's what I'm seeing is that we can see a momentum all the way up to here. I'm right now in the 15-minute time frame. So this is what I see on the chart, and we can have a very good bearish momentum for Bitcoin and a bullish for the dominance. As you saw, this is what I showed you before for our bearish momentum, and we can see that it's gonna go up. So from here, this will be our decision point. This decision point here, we can have some consolidations below it. If we don't break something like this, and then we can then move all the way up to the here. So this is very important. Just make sure that you understand the pattern. The pattern is that, this should be like this. So the first one, we should break this high above, and it will be a very, very spiky movement here. Then we have to go down and see how it looks from here. We can make our position. So it's going to be something like this. So once we hit above, then it's going to go here, and from here we can hit the other targets here from the top of the side. Again, this is dominance, which means that this will be this long position that I put here. It's actually a short position on the Bitcoin or on the crypto market. So make sure that you understand and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. I will see you tomorrow.